Hey everyone, this is our chemical weathering lab. So hopefully you can recreate this yourself at home. All you need is some chalk. It can be any kind of chalk, some vinegar that hopefully you might just have in your cabinet because we cook with this a lot, and then just plain water, and then 2 clear containers. I have got my lab sheet that I printed out from Google Classroom, but you can use it just right on a Google Doc. You don't have to print it out. So I know really what this lab is about is trying to represent chemical weathering and seeing how acid rain might actually dissolve rock, especially soft rock. That's why we pick chalk, because chalk is actually a form of carbonate rock, which is a really soft rock like limestone. We have a lot of limestone in Virginia. That's why if you go out west, there's a lot of caves, because water will drip, drip underground and form these caves because a lot of limestone over there, very soft rock. So we should see some results with this. I've got 2 liquid samples that I can see here. Vinegar and water. Typically we would do this in the lab and I wouldn't tell you what the liquids were, but for you to gather the materials you have to know. So 1 is vinegar and I have labeled it 1. 2 is going to be just plain water. They look alike, but they smell very different. So we are going to take observations 3 different times. It's really important for scientists to make good observations. So make sure you either have your paper out ready to write or have your computer open so you can type in your observations. So first thing I'm going to do is take my chalk. I'm going to break it in half because I don't need a very big piece. Oh, these were bugs. Were just coming on me. They like the chalk. I'm going to drop it in. I'm going to put, we always want to keep constant, so the chalk should be about the same size, and then fill up your cups to the same fill line. So they should be the same. I have beakers. You can just use any clear cups. I'm going to go ahead and fill it just so it covers. Mine's going to be 100 milliliters. Remember, volume is always measured in milliliters. So I'm going to want to do my 2 pours pretty quick because I have to write down my initial observations. What does it look like? What do I see? What does it smell like? And then after 2 minutes, I'm going to start my timer on my watch or on your phone or on your computer. After 2 minutes, you'll make another observation that you write down. And then after 5 minutes, you'll make your final observation and answer your questions. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pour in. I'm going to get it at eye level, my 100 mils of water and my 100 mils of vinegar. Okay. And then start my timer for 2 minutes. So I can already, and I'm going to move this up close so you guys can see, this is my 1, that's my vinegar, this is my water, 1 and 2. So for those of you that can't do this at home, I want you to write down what you see right now, okay? 1 is the vinegar, again this one, 2 is the water. So I'm not going to hold these up for the whole 2 minutes because that might hurt my arm. I'm going to put it down and then try and position this so you can see it. Write your observations. This was a pretty immediate reaction. I'm going to also give you kind of a top view. Hopefully you can kind of see what's happening in there as well. So it has been just 1 minute now. We're still having some effects. What is happening over here in 2? I'm going to move this up close to see if you really see anything going on. Mine is quite still. Let me hold up 1 where the vinegar is. Quite a difference already. And remember, acid that is in rain is not acid that's going to be even as strong as the vinegar. But it is going to be a weak acid that can cause effects over time, and it can cause effects on rocks, on our statues. Acid rain can also cause effects that are harmful to plant life. So that is an important reason that we need to kind of keep pollutants out of our airways. That's why every time we turn on our car, when a factory produces all the pollution, that will often cause acid rain. It will get mixed in with the water. Oh, we are at 2 minutes, so go ahead and write down what you see now. Okay. You can't really smell, but if you have vinegar at home, you should be able to smell. Even if you don't have chalk, you should be able to know what vinegar smells like as well. So then after 5 minutes, we'll take our last observations. While you are waiting, I would answer the questions at the bottom. The 1, 2, and you can even answer 3 now, because that you've already seen a pretty clear difference in the two, even after 2 minutes. So remember, 1 was, what did the chalk represent? I talked about that at the beginning. Why was it a good representation? And which liquid was acidic, 1 or 2, vinegar or water, and how did you know? And then last is just summarizing the difference between chemical and physical weathering. We've been talking about that all week, so hopefully you really got that down. Which one is this, and what are the definitions of each? Okay, so we are still running now just over 3 minutes. I'm going to hold these up and let's see, is anything happening in 2 and in 1? I'm going to turn it around so you can see my chalk is back here in the back. You can barely see it at the bottom. And I haven't really moved this at all, right? You can see kind of the back end. Chalk has moved to the back and is pretty well disintegrated. I have about, at least half of it is gone. Oh, there's a big piece that's about to pop off. And we are now at minute 4, so we have really 1 more minute till I'll hold it up and we'll do our final observation. So like I said, hopefully you guys are answering the questions now, and this whole lab really only takes 5 minutes from start to finish to see the effect that acid rain can have on our rocks, especially our rocks that are softer like limestone, like the chalk is representing. I would challenge you over the weekend to see, can you come up with your own hands-on lab that represents physical weathering or mechanical weathering? Remember, those are the same thing. Extra credit, if you can come up with one, do it, take a video of it, or just share a Google Doc about an idea maybe we could do together next week to represent physical weathering. So this is our chemical weathering lab. It has now been 5 minutes, so we'll do our final 2. See anything happening with 2? I don't even see 1 bubble. Well, there's a few little things at the bottom. Let's see if I can get that in the camera where you can see a little bit floating around. But you can see here, that is the last bit of the chalk right there for your 5 minutes. Okay, so again, hopefully you were able to recreate this lab for yourself at home. Otherwise, watch mine and go ahead and fill out that lab sheet, hit the turn in. I will see you all Monday.